Hey guys, welcome back to Vinceville Custom. So today I'm sharing with you two more Age of Apocalypse custom busts that I'm doing up for somebody for his whole little collection. We have Cyclops and we have Kitty Pryde. I had a lot of fun working on these. I like the idea of this guy going off and finding all these old busts that are either cheap on eBay, maybe people are selling collections, maybe they're damaged. You know, a lot of people kind of gave up on a lot of the bust runs back, you know, from back in the day when they were really popular. So he's kind of gobbling up really cheap, and he's making all his custom lines of all this stuff, and I think it's a really cool collection he's got going on. So hopefully by the time I put up this video, maybe he'd be kind enough to send me a picture, and I can add it at the end of the video so you can see everything he's got going on so far. So we'll kind of break down to the two busts that I used. For Cyclops, it was the Astonishing X-Men Cyclops bust from Diamond Select a few years back, and the Kitty Pryde one was actually the Jade from Women of DC Universe bust, and that's kind of cool that he's actually using a lot of Marvel stuff as well as the DC busts. He's kind of mixing and matching now with stuff, so I think it worked out pretty cool. So we'll break down what I did on each of these statues, you know, and then we'll go from there. So he has the custom bases. You know, he made up a custom base. He had them made up, and he's casting copies of them, and he uses these bases for all his customs. So it's a really great idea, and everything's becoming uniformed, and it's really looking good. So for Jade, she was a little tricky. Main thing I had to do was get her off the original base, because her original base is like a Green Lantern type of, like, I don't know, thing under her, and her left hand was actually on the base, but luckily it wasn't glued on there. So after some dremeling and stuff, I was able to pry her off the base, and I attached her to this one. I had to kind of sand down some of the outfit all around here, because Kitty Pryde doesn't have anything up here. It's kind of like, you know, a lower top. So I had to sand all that down and really kind of grind out some areas and smooth it out. But once that was done, what I did was I rolled out A's really thin as I could without it breaking. And I rolled it around her arm, I rolled it around her body, and I rolled it around that arm. So this way, it's kind of like a, you know, kind of like almost like a metallic armor outfit. Because like in the comics, it's kind of hard for the whole Age of Apocalypse, since it was just kind of like a one summer storyline. You really can't tell what kind of outfit it is. So I was thinking, you know, maybe it's a little bit more of a metallic type outfit. And then she's got these gloves on that actually, I guess they're like spring loaded, or they're kind of like stretched out stuff like Wolverine Claws. They're not actually like claws like Wolverine, because they got these lines on them. So these are actually 3 claws I've used from an old Bowen Designs statue. And what I did was I pretty much attached them in, and I sculpted around them, and I made them look extended. The other hand, since it was, you know, kind of, it's up, so you can't really put the claws out, I kind of made them look like they were, you know, in the glove piece. They're not really extended and everything, so I ran with that. Sculpted the belt on her. Didn't have to change up the hair, because he said the hair looked good, and we're just going to keep the hair going. You know, sculpted the little neck piece. And then painted up in like the comics. The comics was like very shiny, and it looked metallic-y and everything, so I just ran with that. I just kind of tried to keep it as close to the whole Age of Apocalypse look as possible. You know, gave her some nice Garage Kit skin tone, and I think it worked out pretty good. It was a little bit tricky here and there, but you know, things seem to work on these busts pretty well. So on the back, of course, you know, we have to do a throwback to the whole, you know, 616 normal universe. And we got to talking. I said, why don't we try to put like Lockheed, like he's kind of like in the darkness coming through. So that's kind of, because I think in Age of Apocalypse, I don't think he's in it really. I don't remember. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But we kind of throw, because he couldn't really do like the outfit of Kitty, because it's kind of hard to see. Because she doesn't have, like, her outfit's very, it just probably wouldn't have worked too well. So that's kind of where we went with that. But, so with that, we got Cyclops. Now, the Cyclops one I had a lot of fun with. I think this one worked out really great. I utilized the shirt that came with the bust. But what I did is I kind of sanded down this arm, and I added this little cuff here. Because it was like a really tough texture on the shirt. So you can't really have that on the arm. So I sanded that down. And then what I did is I just started building up, you know, the gloves, building up the whole armor. Like, if you were to actually snap off the hair, you would actually see how I sculpted the armor, and you could probably see it in the beginning of the video with all the work in progress pics. And then I sculpted the shirt over, because it's just easier for me to build piece by piece by piece by piece. So, you know, I kept building up all these little pieces. I did the straps, I did the belt, I did all the little buckles, you know, just kind of ran with all that. And then for the hair, since I kind of cut up everything around there, it was easier to kind of just work out this piece over here, because he's got that little, like, I guess it's kind of like he talks or grabs it, and that's how he could do his stuff with his eye beams in Age of Apocalypse. And he's got the big hair flowing, so I had to match that hair kind of covering the eye, because I guess you know, he fought Wolverine, and Wolverine slashed his eye and messed up his arm, so that's why he uses the hair to cover it all. And it's kind of easier to get away with it too when you're doing this custom, because you know, trying to fix everything up and making it look great on both sides, you can kind of get away with it on one side. And then as far as the paint up, I wanted to do something different with his paint up, because I didn't want it to all be just pure yellow or metallic going all the way around and everything. So if you can kind of see in the pictures, the arm here to about this buckle here, and these arm pieces, it's kind of like a goldish metallic. And then what I did is the yellow straps and the pouches are all like, you know, kind of like a leather yellow. It's just like a flat yellow. This belt buckle is kind of like a different gold than this gold. And then in certain areas I added like metal, just regular metal on the arms, as you can kind of see. And same thing in the back. And then for the the eye piece. Hold on, we're getting a little closer. And for the eye piece, what I did is it's kind of like the same as the belt buckle, and I added some metallic black in the areas in there with the, you know, metallic red for the eye and everything. And the hair is kind of just like a nice brown black with some different browns, highlights all in the hair. Garage Kit's flesh tone, and then of course the base paint up. And of course for his 616, you know, throwback, we kind of did like the Cyclops, you know, eye. I know it's not, it's kind of like I did the best I could in there, because he had this little accent. It's very hard to get in there. Plus with all the texture of the rocky base, it's very hard to get paint going in the direction you want it to without going in all those cracks. But, you know, really don't look behind the bases, but it's kind of like a good throwback to all of them. So, like I said, I think it's really cool. I'm having fun with all these. I'm not really sure if this is it of the line. I think I got a couple more he wants me to do. We'll see what happens over the year. But it's really great to actually get a couple busts here and there and do custom work like this every once in a while. Because, you know, I mean, just because they're busts and they're old doesn't mean they're useless. You can always just grab them. And I always tell people out there, if you want to get into the hobby or you want to practice, go snag a cheap bust or something from back in the day and just customize and see if you can make something different and just have fun with it. So there you go. There's Kitty Pryde and Cyclops Age of Apocalypse bust. Hopefully you guys liked the way they came out. I had a lot of fun working on these two. I think so far these might be my favorite ones that I've done for him. But like I said, if there's any more coming, we'll post videos. And hopefully at the end of this video you can see his collection with these in there, because it's looking awesome what he's got going on. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back with some more videos.